What's up, everybody? Today I'm here to review The Lion King. I just came back from the movie theaters. It's actually, there's a heat wave going on in New York. It's just so hot to be inside, so hot to be outside. So I thought, you know what? Let me go check it out, The Lion King. Now, before I go any further, I wanted to say that The Lion King is very close to my heart. I think it's the best animation ever created by Disney. This is Disney at their best. It's just such a powerful story, such powerful music. It's beautiful. I love the animation. But did I like the live action? I would say no. I am extremely disappointed. And it makes me very sad that kids nowadays, or someone that hasn't seen the original, will be stuck with this version, because in comparison to the source material, the original animation is very lacking. But it's not all negative, so let me talk about the positives first. And by the way, before I continue, I wanted to say this is a spoiler review because it's The Lion King. It's been around for so long. It doesn't make sense to make a non-spoiler review. But if you haven't seen the original film and you want to watch this, I would beg you to please watch the original first, then you check this one out, because the original is just, it's precious. There's something magical about that film. But anyways, if you don't want to know any spoilers, if you haven't never seen The Lion King, I will be discussing spoilers here. So let's continue. This movie is directed by Jon Favreau, and it is live action, and pretty much everything is CGI. I mean, it's not live action, but yes, CGI. And to be honest with you, the visuals are absolutely stunning. Stunning sometimes I would even forget I was watching CGI animals, CGI lions. Simba, when he's a cub, is the cutest thing you've ever seen. It's just so beautiful, and it makes you feel like you're watching a documentary sometimes, like a Discovery Channel documentary. That's how good the animation was. It's actually, I was like, wow, I cannot believe they can do this in 2019. Beautiful. Apart from that, that's pretty much the only praise I have to this film, the fact that the visuals were stunning. Other than that, the other stuff, this is a shot-by-shot copy of the original with some minor changes, and the minor changes really annoyed me because I don't think they were good changes. For instance, the hula song that Timon sings at the very end to distract the hyenas, it's not there. And in fact, a lot of the comedy part of the original is not there, and apparently their explanation is because they wanted to make this realistic, but I don't understand it, because it is The Lion King. It's a fantasy, because you can't, how can you make this realistic? These animals would never get along. They would be eating each other. This thing with the king, it's, of course, all of this is fantasy, so not giving the animals any sort of expression or comedy, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, it feels like a documentary reality, but I did not like the lack of expression on the animals. I didn't. It was very hard, because the scene where Simba is supposed to be very sad after Mufasa dies, there is no sadness on his face. He's just very cute little cub, but it's just I needed more, like in the animation you really feel it, because again, you can animate the faces and you see all these expressions. Also, another thing that is not in this film is Rafiki. There's a lot of comedy of Rafiki, and one thing I really hated is that in the original, Rafiki hits Simba in the head with his staff, and it's not in this film. In fact, he barely has his staff. He only gets it at the very end, and I was like, so that's another minor change. The other thing that annoyed me and made me so mad was when Scar takes Simba, when in that whole evil plan to kill Mufasa and leave Simba alone to be killed by the stampede. In the animation, when Simba looks up and he sees the stampede coming down, there is this beautiful zoom in that goes on his face, and it really portrays that the scary face that the danger that Simba is in right now. And that zoom in is not in here, and I was like, why would they not do that? Really, for some reason, that annoyed me so much, because I don't know. The only thing I could say about this film is that it's soulless. There's no soul. slow. It's, you know, I didn't feel that connection or emotional the way that I feel even when I go back and watch the animation. The music is there. The music is very powerful. I think the first part in Circle of Life, I was into it. I was like, wow, this looks visually stunning. The music was nice. Everything was great. But then after that, I kind of disconnected because, like I said, no expression in the face of the animals because they're trying to have this look as real as possible, and it doesn't make much sense because, of course, okay, you can go for this realistic look, but it doesn't mean you have to take the reaction from the characters, because I think that really made the film suffer. The other thing that annoyed me big time was Can You Feel the Love Tonight? You know, a beautiful song, one of my favorite parts in the film. And it was sang in daytime. I was like, the lyrics said, can you feel the love tonight? Why is it daytime? I was like, no, this is not how it goes. But to be quite fair, like I said, because I'm such a fan of the original, and usually when you're a big fan like myself, you tend to be extra picky, you know, like for instance, if you watch my review of the Aladdin, I actually enjoyed the live action because I don't consider myself a big fan of Aladdin. I like the animation, I enjoyed, but I don't really remember every single thing that happened in the animation. Very different than the Lion King. The Lion King, I remember every single thing that happened, every word, every expression, the music, I remember even the musical arrangements, and the musical arrangements here, it's also very different. And yeah, I couldn't, and it's just like there's something that is not landing with me right here. And also the song Be Prepared is very short in this version. The other thing I did not like is that the hyenas, if you watch the original, they're extremely funny. Like for instance, one of my favorite lines from the hyenas is when they say, you cannot even say Mufasa's name without trembling, and then they go, Mufasa, ooh, Mufasa, ooh, Mufasa. And then this is not in the film because, like I said, in this version, a lot of the comedy from the original, it was taken away, and I don't understand why. It's still fantasy. I don't get it. I was like, I feel so sad for people that haven't seen the original, and that's the version they're going to be stuck with because, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not as good as the original. So please watch the original animation and then you check this one out, and then you see what I'm talking about. The other thing that well, talking a little bit about comedy, Timon and Pumbaa is the only ones that bring some like the lighthearted, some sort of comedy to the film. And there's also a few lines that seem to be improvised, or they're completely different. They are not like in the original. But other than that, everything is pretty kind of serious. Nala has a few more lines in here, which I believe it's because Beyonce plays Nala, so they wanted her to have kind of a bigger role. But it doesn't really matter. But the other thing that I did not like, and I was like annoyed, another small change they did, it's when Simba has that talk with Rafiki, and then he kind of speaks to his father, or the spirit of his father, and then he returns back to Pride Rock in one of the most awesome moments, which is like, you can hear that song, dun, 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 and Simba is kind of running back in slow motion. And to me, that was something that when I was a kid, I grew up watching the Lion King, I would like, yeah, go Simba. This scene is not there. They don't do that way. There's this extra song that Nala is singing, Beyonce is singing, and they are coming back together, Nala and Simba. I was like, that's not how it happens. I was expecting that dun 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 dun, dun in slow motion, the way that it is in the original. It's kind of, that really annoyed me, and I was like, oh, I don't know. So I would say this. I am definitely disappointed. I think this movie is already making a ton of money because it's a Lion King. I mean, it's a powerful brand. It has been around for a reason. I did see the Lion King here on Broadway a long time ago. And to be honest, because The Lion King is so close to my heart and the animation is like perfection to me, even the Broadway show, I was like, that's not how you sing that song, you know what I mean? Because they sounded a little bit different, even though I enjoy watching the play. But yes, if you want my opinion, should you go watch this live action? Well, if you have some money to spare, sure, go ahead and check it out. But if you haven't seen the original, I beg you, please watch the original first. Then you check this one out, because there is nothing as good as the original animation. That is the best thing that came from Disney. But yeah, this live action, to me, I would classify it as soulless. There's something missing there. Probably the expression from the animals. It was just it didn't look right. It didn't look right. But as far as the voice acting go, I have no problems. I think pretty much all of the actors did do a good job. Not really much to say there, but anyways, guys, that is my overall review of The Lion King. If I were to rate this film, I would rate it a C, maybe a C+. I would like to even rate it higher because of the visuals. The visuals are incredible. Don't get me wrong, it's one of the best you've ever seen as far as a live action. I couldn't believe it's all CGI. There's only few parts where I realize you can see visual effects, and most of the time it kind of makes you think you're watching a documentary. That's how good it is. But other than that, no, it's not as good as the original. Makes me sad to say that. But anyways, if you watched it, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear. If you enjoyed it, there's no problem. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But drop your comments below. Let me know, are you gonna watch it? Have you seen the original? Do you agree with me? It's one of the best animations ever made. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.